And at 10, Kris Jenner. Prior to marrying Robert Kardashian, Kris Houghton was seeing Cesar Sanudo, a pro golfer from Tijuana. Luckily, it wasn't Tiger Woods, I suppose, but nevertheless, Kris did end up cheating on Cesar with Robert, who she'd later obviously marry. I don't really think I needed to say that. But then after Kris and Robert married, Kris admitted to yet another affair, this time with Todd Waterman during her marriage to Robert, which she described as insanely intense. In her autobiography, she referred to Todd as Ryan, but Todd of course knew it was him and came forward on his own. And honestly, this must have been what started the curse of every Kardashian after getting cheated on or cheating on someone else. Cause like, damn, that's one hell of a bloodline. And at 9, Jessie James. Not even a week after winning the Oscar for Best Actress for her role in Blind Side back in 2010, rumors surfaced of Sandra Bullock's husband Jesse James having had multiple affairs, which were confirmed to be true, proving that maybe there was also an Oscars curse back in the day. But then, after that scandal, he ended up dating Kat Von D, the star of LA Inc., a reality show based on a tattoo studio in Los Angeles, obviously. However, their engagement was also called off after it was revealed that Jesse had cheated on Kat with upwards of 19 women, possibly more. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say. Jesse doesn't seem to regret it either, telling the Daily Mail back in 2017, quote, "In general, both women and men cheat. It's a part of life," which is just a horrible way of looking at it. In at 8, Anne Hesh. Anne Hesh, known for 6 Days, 7 Nights, Donnie Brasco, Wag the Dog, and Volcano, is an American actress who, most importantly for this list, dated Ellen DeGeneres from 1997 to August of 2000. But the actual reason for their breakup was the real thing the media was interested in. They had been described as the world's first gay super couple, but after their split on not so good terms, Hesh claimed that her blacklisting from the Ellen show effectively made her unable to get a role, since the studios wouldn't be able to advertise their film on the show. However, it was later revealed that Hesh had allegedly cheated on Ellen with Holman LaFoon, who would later become her first husband. After which, she soon started another affair with James Tupper, who would later become her second husband. Yeah, despite her already having a son with Coleman, thus making the idea that she cheated on Ellen even more likely, and justifying the blacklisting even further. In its 7, Ben Affleck. While engaged to Jennifer Lopez, Ben Affleck started a relationship with Jennifer Garner after meeting her on the set of the Daredevil movie back in 2003, which is weird because not only was he engaged to Jennifer Lopez and then cheated on her, but it's also because they met on Daredevil, and I don't think anything good could flourish or grow on that set, because like, you know, the quality of the movie didn't. But anyway, while this was going on, Garner was also married to Scott Foley, so needless to say, multiple things fell apart. But at least Affleck and Garner got together, which resulted in them getting a divorce in 2017 because apparently he also had an affair with Lindsay Shookus, an SNL producer, while she was married to Kevin Miller. For God's sake, dude, okay? Like, I get that you're Batman, but like, you don't need to whip out your bat every time you see a woman that isn't the one you're halfway through. In at number 5, Tristan Thompson. Yeah, I think we all knew that this would be on the list. It was kind of an inevitability. Tristan Thompson was caught multiple times cheating on Khloe Kardashian throughout their relationship, to a point where it would get revealed and we would expect it. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Especially when one of those instances is caught on camera at a damn hookah lounge of all places, and also just days before the birth of your daughter, which yes, did happen back in 2018. He was then caught again a few months later with a former friend of Kylie Jenner, which is just added salt to the wound. Like, dude, really? And that's not even the last of it, cause like, while Tristan and Khloe were in the process of having their second child through surrogacy, Tristan cheated on her again with Marilee Nichols, a personal trainer, who then also had another one of his kids. This man cheated on the mother of his child, and then did it again when they were in the process of having another kid, and fathered a third because of that. Bro. And at 3, Adam Levine. This was another obvious one. I mean, this man turned into the biggest meme on the internet for what felt like ages. The "that body of yours is insane" memes were unavoidable. However, Levine denied having an affair, but did admit to speaking to others in a flirtatious manner. All of this started after Summer Stroh claimed that they had a year-long affair in a TikTok, which has since been deleted. Stroh laid it out in the video saying, quote, "Essentially, I was having an affair with a man who's married to a Victoria's Secret model. At the time, you know, I was young, I was naive. Quite frankly, I feel exploited. I wasn't in the scene like I am now, so I was definitely very easily manipulated." They also showcased multiple screenshots of messages between the two of them, including one where Adam asked the influencer would be okay with him naming his child Summer, and the infamous "it is truly unreal how hot you are, like it blows my mind conversation that turned into the meme. Penultimately, in at number 2, Elizabeth Taylor. Known for Cleopatra, Suddenly Last Summer, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Elizabeth Taylor was a British-American actress who was rumored to have cheated on multiple husbands. Not only that, but in the tell-all book Elizabeth Taylor, There's Nothing Like a Dame, there was mentions of a menage with John F. Kennedy and an affair with Ronald Reagan. And not only that, but there were multiple high-profile affairs during her various marriages to other famous men, including when Elizabeth had an affair with Eddie Fisher, the husband of her best friend at the time, Debbie Reynolds, and then, after Elizabeth and Eddie got married, Elizabeth then had an affair with her next future husband, Richard Burton, which is absolutely insane. The tell-all book also claims that when her romance Frank Sinatra began to fizzle out, that she told him she was pregnant with his child and attempted to blackmail him into marrying her, which, given her track record for husbands, makes you really question her true intentions and motivations. And finally, in at number 1, Tiger Woods. There's a stereotype for like basketball and football players being cheaters, that women will like line up outside the hotels they stay at and they'll just go down the line and pick a few. However, apparently when it comes to golfing, the same stereotype applies, or at least it does to Tiger Woods, which I mean is like the easiest joke ever, okay? That's low-hanging fruit at this point. But when it comes to Tiger, things seem to be rated over PGA, since while being known as one of history's greatest golfers, he's also a serial cheater to a horrifying degree. You may have thought that Travis or Adam would have been number 1, but holy Christ, they don't even compare. In 2009, multiple reports surfaced alleging that Tiger Woods had a months-long affair with a New York City nightclub hostess, Rachel Uchitel. When this was discovered, Woods' wife attacked him, and I mean, I'm against violence, but I understand the rage that would have developed. I mean, you could have done it in a healthier way, but I get why you would be rageful. But after this, even more reports came up involving adult stars, adult dancers, and adult entertainers, and more claiming to have done the deed with Tiger as well, which caused Tiger to later confess to sleeping with 120 women while he was married. That's absolutely insane. That's like Barney Stinson levels of women, and Barney is a fictional character.
Number 10, Jada Pinkett Smith. Although the Smiths themselves wouldn't call it cheating, the rest of the world was shocked when August Alsina spoke about a relationship that he had with Jada Pinkett Smith during an interview in June of 2020. He said, "I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life, and I truly, really deeply love and have a ton of love for her." He also revealed that Will Smith knew about it the whole time and had even given them his blessing. Although Jada initially denied the claims, she eventually confessed to being in an entanglement with August, and she and her husband were separated. She said, "We decided we were going to separate for a period of time, and you go figure out how to make yourself happy, and I'll figure out how to make myself happy." They both went on the red table talk together in a heartbreaking episode, and Jada told Will how she came to be romantically involved with August. She confirmed that yes, she had a relationship with him, but denied that her husband ever gave them his blessing, insisting that they were separated at the time. In the end, a heartbreaking photo of Will glaring became a viral meme, and everyone started googling the word entanglement. Number 8, Paris Hilton. The reality star was dating Nick Carter of the Backstreet Boys in the early 2000s. They definitely seemed like an it couple, but when Paris started filming the 2005 film House of Wax, she ended up having an affair with her co-star Chad Michael Murray. This was truly a disaster, because at the time he was married to Sophia Bush. It completely ended their relationship, but even after separating, they still had to keep working together for another 3 years on One Tree Hill. If that's not awkward, I don't know what is. As for Paris, she got exposed by Nick's younger brother Aaron Carter, who accused her of cheating on Nick when he went on the Tyra Banks show in 2006. Nick then addressed this during a radio interview with Ryan Seacrest, where he admitted that his brother let the cat out of the bag. The singer also claimed that he got back at Paris when he hooked up with Ashley Simpson. So obviously there was still a lot of immaturity there when it came to dealing with infidelity. He said, "I'm not saying that Paris is a bad person, but I'm saying she's got to work her problems out." Number 7, Livia Giudioli. The Italian producer was married to Colin Firth for 22 years. On the outside, they looked like a happy couple, living in the Italian countryside with their 2 sons. But on the inside, things were very different. In 2019, their marriage ended after Livia admitted to being involved in an 11-month-long affair with her childhood friend Marco. Although she tried to cover it up at first, and she claimed that he was stalking her. Police eventually opened an investigation into him after he made threatening phone calls to the couple and sent Colin explicit photos of Livia. Marco eventually spoke to the Times and claimed that the two of them were romantically involved and she was going to leave her husband for him. Quote, "She filed a complaint against me for stalking out of fear that I could go public with what she had revealed to me about her marriage and work." Although Livia denied these claims at first, the media pressure became too much and she eventually admitted to the affair. After this news came out, Colin Olivia's marriage imploded, and in December of 2019, they announced their official separation. This story was really quite crazy and involved a lot of twists and turns, but to a lot of people, it was simply astonishing that anyone would choose to cheat on Colin Firth. Number 6. Kristen Stewart. The actress met Robert Pattinson on the set of Twilight, and the two of them quickly became romantically involved. Fans were absolutely obsessed with the then it couple, but their relationship came to a halt when paparazzi photos were released of Kristen kissing film director Rupert Sanders. He was the director of Snow White and the Huntsman, which she also starred in. The shocking photos circulated across tabloids everywhere, and fans were rightfully heartbroken. Even Donald Trump had a lot to say about the incident. In the end, both of them were forced to publicly apologize. Sanders tried to do some damage control by calling the kiss a momentary lapse in judgment. Kristen also had to apologize to Rob, but it didn't really help because the two of them broke up soon after. Unfortunately, they actually had to complete the press tour for Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2, so that must have been very awkward. They did get back together for a time, but eventually broke up for good. It's safe to say that their relationship never recovered, but several years later in an interview, the actress insisted that it wasn't an actual affair, but because of the intense media scrutiny at the time, she didn't see the point in denying it. Number 5. Heidi Klum. The German supermodel was married to Seal for 7 years, and by all accounts, the couple appeared to be very happy together. They would renew their wedding vows every year and became known for plenty of PDA on the red carpet. But in 2012, they decided to separate, and the singer shocked the world when he revealed that Heidi had been having an affair with her bodyguard. He made the claims to TMZ and said, "Whilst I didn't expect anything better from him, I would have thought that Heidi would have shown a little more class, and at least waited until we separated first before deciding to fornicate with the help." Seal then insisted that his top priority was his children's well-being. The former couple have 3 biological children together, as well as one that they adopted. He went on to say, "That's what happens when two people separate. They move on and generally meet other people in their lives. Certainly don't expect Heidi to all of a sudden become a nun, but as always, my main priority is the emotional well-being of my children. And to be quite honest, if there is going to be someone else in their lives, I would much rather it was a familiar face." Number 4. Meg Ryan. In the 90s, the actress was married to Dennis Quaid, but their relationship imploded when she had a brief affair with her co-star Russell Crowe. Shortly after the affair was made public in 1999, the two of them split up and she started dating Russell. The following year, Meg gave an interview about the scandal and said, "So this is what it feels like to be the Scarlet Woman. I'm having that experience now." She insisted at the time that no third party played a role in the breakdown of her marriage. It dissolved before it became sport for the press. "The reasons we broke up have nothing to do with another person. My marriage was broken, nobody else broke it up. I know it to be true and Dennis knows it to be true. What anyone else thinks I have no control over." But the controversy had a lasting impact on her image, as Meg was once considered America's sweetheart. She finally hit back in 2008 and accused Dennis of cheating on her as well throughout their relationship. She said, "Dennis was not faithful to me for a long time, and that was very painful. I found out more about that once I was divorced." He responded by basically telling her to move on and stop rehashing the details of their relationship. Number 3. Madonna. In 2008, the singer and former New York Yankee Alex Rodriguez dominated the gossip headlines thanks to their much speculated affair. The difficulty was that both Madonna and Alex were married at the time of their alleged romance. In July of that year, A-Rod's wife Cynthia Scurtis decided to leave him for good, but she also confided in a friend that she found letters where her husband described Madonna as his soulmate. According to the New York Daily News, she said, "I feel like Madonna is using mind control over him. I don't recognize the man he's become. He was a sweet, beautiful, loving husband and father. Today he's very cold and calculating." The following month, A-Rod was spotted in the crowd supporting Madonna at one of her concerts, which only fueled more rumors that the two of them were dating, despite the fact that she was 17 years older than him. Although the singer adamantly denied the rumors, her marriage to Guy Ritchie ended in October that same year. The British tabloids had a field day when it came to pointing fingers about what went wrong in their marriage. Apart from the affair, it was said that their marriage ended after Madonna became injured from a horse riding accident on her 47th birthday, and the lengthy recovery put a strain on their relationship. Number 2. Morena Baccarin. After the actress first rose to fame from her role in Firefly, she married a film producer and director named Austin Chick in 2011. During their marriage, they had a son together before he eventually filed for divorce in 2015. Austin then very publicly accused her of cheating on him. Turns out that Morena had gotten pregnant by her Gotham co-star Ben McKenzie while she was still married to him. The scandal brought about intense backlash against their relationship, even though Austin and Morena were in the process of divorcing at the time. He eventually gave birth to her daughter Frances in March of 2016, just 2 weeks after her divorce from her ex was finalized. Aside from all the controversy, Morena certainly got a happy ending and went on to marry Ben in June the following year. She even told People magazine that working with him on Gotham was wonderful and said, "Ben's the sweetest. Very nice to work with your significant other, especially when you're pregnant, because you know you'll get some extra TLC and get taken care of." So despite the persistent rumors of infidelity and the awkward timeline, it does seem like the two co-stars are very happy together. Number 1. Katharine McPhee. The American Idol alum made headlines in October of 2013 when she was caught having an affair with her Smash director Michael Morris. Katharine and her husband Nick Kokas had supposedly separated for 6 months at the time while working on their marriage, but that didn't exactly stop her from getting with someone else. The scandal was huge because Michael was also married to Mary McCormack and had been since 2003. Katharine and Nick didn't finalize their divorce until February of 2016, almost 2 years after she filed for the split and 3 years after they separated. That same year, she opened up about the transgressions in an interview and said, "I don't have any regrets. Of all the choices I made, I learned from in a really deep way." She went on to say that the strong influences in her life have held her accountable for her actions, and that we are all on that journey to have more awareness about who we are as a person. But despite the affair, Katharine insisted that deep down, she's not a cheater. She said, "I'm a one-man kind of gal, and a kind of true romantic at heart." In 2019, she ended up marrying music producer and executive David Foster.
Coming in number 10, Amber Heard. When Johnny Depp took to the stand to testify against his ex-wife Amber Heard, more and more details were revealed about their toxic relationship, including how Depp believed that she was actually having an affair with James Franco. Johnny Depp had admitted that he thought his ex-wife Amber Heard was having an affair with James Franco while they were still together. It's thought that Heard was shooting a movie with Franco at the time. Her lawyer Ben Rottenborn asked Depp if they had an argument about it, to which Depp said, "I don't recall, but it's highly likely." Then following that statement, the jury was presented with text messages that Depp had sent to Heard the following day when they arrived on the West Coast. The text read, "Once again, I find myself in a place of shame and regret. Of course, I am sorry. I really don't know why or what happened, but I will never do it again. I want to get better for you and for me. I must. My illness somehow crept up and grabbed me. I can't do it again. I can't live like that again. And I know you can't either. I must get better and I will. For us both, starting today. I love you and again, I am so sorry. So sorry. I love you and I feel so bad for letting you down." Then when Amber did not respond to that message, she sent another that said, "I see that understanding and forgiveness ain't on the menu. I'm disappointed to see that, but not too surprised, I suppose." But before we jump into our next point, make sure you tap that like button to show some love to the channel. In at number 8, Scott Disick. For a long time, the relationship between Scott Disick and Kourtney Kardashian has been tumultuous, to say the least. Even the rest of the Kardashian family was confused about the status of the relationship a lot of the time. Although it became much more clear when Scott was caught getting a little too close with his ex-girlfriend Khloe Bartoli. Following the paparazzi taking these photos, the two broke up. Although that was just the nail in the coffin moment. Before this, Kim actually caught a woman hiding in Scott's bathroom while they were in Dubai. Following those exposing photos, Kourtney wanted to rekindle the relationship, so she invited him to vacation with the family in Costa Rica. And while there, he tried to sneak a woman again into his hotel room, all while he was trying to reunite with the mother of his children. Coming number 6, Nick Young. This is another one of those messy celebrity breakups that have people just shaking their head the entire time. At first, it started as a prank when the LA Lakers were recording player D'Angelo Russell and inadvertently included fellow player Nick Young. In the video, Nick apparently admits to cheating on his girlfriend, rapper Iggy Azalea. Young then says that it was false, Iggy says okay, and the relationship just continues on. However, not too long after that, she actually caught him on security camera bringing women into their home. To make things even worse, Young was still expecting a baby with his ex-girlfriend, a baby that was definitely conceived while he was cheating on her with Iggy Azalea. Following the security cam footage, Iggy tweeted out, "I broke up with Nick because I found out he had brought other women into our home while I was away and caught them on the security footage." Adding, "This is just like a second shot to the chest, and I feel like I don't even know who the hell it is I've been loving all this time." Coming number 5, Offset. How these two are still together is just beyond me. Offset didn't just cheat on Cardi B with several women, but a video even leaked of the rapper cheating on his wife. Literally every other month, his name was linked to a new cheating scandal. Not too long after that, Cardi's estranged husband interrupted her show in Los Angeles and begged her to take him back. He even made a floral display of roses that spelt out "Take me back, Cardi." Although Cardi did not seem impressed by this display of affection. Shortly after, she announced in an Instagram post that they were going to be getting divorced. However, she did eventually forgive him, and I guess they're doing better now, but who's to say? In at number 4, Brad Pitt. Well, we all saw this coming, didn't we? No relationship that begins with people cheating ever ends with a happily ever after. Brad originally cheated on Jennifer Aniston with Angelina Jolie after filming Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Angelina suspected Brad was cheating on her, so she hired a private eye who uncovered some very incriminating photos of her husband kissing his World War II co-star. A source close to Angelina said, "She hired a private eye because she felt that he was fooling around with her on the set, and it turns out he was. And that was the final straw. And indeed it was, because not too long after that, Angelina Jolie filed for divorce. Dummy number 3, Kevin Hart. This entire scandal was recently covered in Kevin Hart's docu-series on Netflix, where he fully detailed what went down that night in Las Vegas. The show even interviews his wife Nico as she emotionally recaps when she saw the video and how it made her feel. While Kevin was with a friend in Vegas, he cheated on his wife, and his own friend was the one that set him up. Yes, Kevin did this to himself and he takes full responsibility for his mistakes, but can you imagine your own friend just trying to blackmail you like that? The woman sent his wife this video, and then later on the pair decided that they were going to use it as leverage to get Kevin to pay them $60 million. Instead, that man went to jail for an attempt at extortion, and Nico and Kevin seem stronger than ever. And number 2, Jay-Z. Beyonce and Jay-Z are one of the most famous couples in the world. Their story began at the end of the 90s, and firstly they were friends, but then love won and they started dating. In 2008, Beyonce and Jay-Z got married, and during the last 11 years gave birth to 3 kids. As Beyonce was learning how to be a mother, Jay was by her side, and everything seemed to be fine for the Carters until the rumblings of an affair between Jay-Z and his new Roc Nation artist Rita Ora started to come up. Then just 2 months later, there was another rumor that rapper and model Liv claimed Jay-Z came onto her and even asked for her number. It was very hard for both of them to deal with, so they decided to find therapy in music and hard work. Jay-Z said that because they do truly love each other, they decided to go through this hell and stay together rather than split.
Number 10, David Letterman. On October the 1st, 2009, Letterman came back from a commercial break on The Late Show and asked his audience if he could tell them a story. He explained that he'd gotten into his car early one morning and found a mysterious package sitting in the back seat. Inside the package was a letter saying, "I know that you did some terrible things, and I can prove that you did these terrible things." Letterman told the audience that he immediately called his lawyer. Whoever had sent him the package wanted $2 million to keep quiet about what they knew. He then took it upon himself to reveal his secret to the audience. Letterman had been married to his wife for 6 months, and they'd been together for over 20 years when he admitted to having affairs with women who worked with him on air, specifically his longtime assistant Stephanie Burkett. The affair came to light when her boyfriend Robert Haldeman, a producer at CBS, allegedly tried to extort Letterman for $2 million in exchange for his silence. The Monday after he made his confession, Letterman spoke about his infidelities on air again and had to apologize to his staff and his wife. He said, "She's been horribly hurt by my behavior. When something happens like that, if you hurt a person, it's your responsibility to try and fix it." Interestingly enough, the two of them are still together to this day. Number 8, Donald Trump Jr. In 2011, the president's son met singer Aubrey O'Day on the season 5 set of his father's reality series Celebrity Apprentice. A source close to the singer came out saying that the two of them got together towards the end of the taping of the show. According to multiple sources, they carried on an affair from late 2011 until March 2012. That is, until his wife Vanessa Trump found salacious emails between them. The married couple stayed together for some years after the affair broke out, but announced that they were divorcing in March of 2018. They released a statement saying, "After 12 years of marriage, we have decided to go our separate ways. We will always have tremendous respect for each other and our families. We have 5 beautiful children together, and they remain our top priority. We have to ask you for your privacy during this time." Shockingly, in a recent interview, Aubrey O'Day actually referred to Donald Trump Jr. as her soulmate and admitted to their long-rumored affair. She said, "When I say he was my soulmate, I'm not going to lie. I'm a very honest person, so I'm not going to say, oh, I had nothing to do with him. He's ridiculous. Like, no, he was just like me." Although she did say that she was disappointed in what he ended up becoming, she insisted that she loves him and she'll always have love for him. Number 7, Amy Robach and TJ Holmes. Just recently, the two anchors of Good Morning America became embroiled in a crazy cheating scandal. Intense speculation has been swirling around the nature of their off-screen relationship after damning evidence of a workplace affair surfaced online. According to an explosive report from Page 6, Holmes and Robach started secretly seeing each other in March this year, which is around the same time that they started training together for the New York City Half Marathon. Shocking photos that surfaced online of the pair show them walking around upstate New York looking very close, and at one point even holding hands. Another set of photos taken in the weeks before Thanksgiving exposes that they went on a secret getaway to a remote cottage, and pictures were snapped of Holmes grabbing Robach's butt as she leaned into the trunk of a car. So at a certain point in their months-long affair, they decided to let their guard down and they got photographed cheating in broad daylight. According to an inside source, their chemistry had been on display in the newsroom for quite a while, and there were rumors circulating that they were having an affair about a year ago. But everyone ultimately chalked it up to friendship because they always said that they were both happily married. Well, clearly appearances can be deceiving, and we really have no idea what goes on behind closed doors. Number 6, Jason Derulo. Nearly 1 year after After Jason and Jenna Frooms broke off their relationship, she exposed him for cheating on her throughout the whole time that they were together. When her comment section filled up with people accusing her of sleeping around on him, Jenna took to Instagram to correct the narrative. She said, "It's unfortunate my situation didn't work out because we once did aspire to be married, but maybe it's best to be single rather than be in a relationship and constantly be disrespected and cheated on and lied to. No one aspires to be a single mom, but if your non-negotiables are being tested, you'll never find peace in that relationship." The 28-year-old model insinuated that Jason had a whole roster of women during the time that they were together. She said, "If a man wants a different girl every week over his family, I'll never accept that. We will never be able to make it work happily. I was straight up told that I should turn the other cheek. I'll never be okay with sharing a lover that I love with all my heart. If the streets come first, I can't change that." She went on to say, "You don't know what women go through to try and make it work. It was never about money or dating someone famous." And while Jason has yet to publicly address these cheating allegations, it's sad to see that anyone has chosen to blame Jenna for his behavior in the first place. Number 5. Sienna Miller. Scandal erupted in 2005 when Sienna Miller's confession of love to Daniel Craig was publicly broadcast to the world while she was married to Jude Law. The two were co-stars in the 2004 film Layer Cake, and at one point after that, the two got a bit closer than they did on screen. But how did news of the affair get out? Well, a journalist actually hacked into Daniel's voicemail and retrieved a message that came from Sienna's phone number. Both parties at first tried to discredit the audio tape, but when the hearing took place for the hacking trial, it was proven to be authentic. Sienna tried to play it off and told the court that she always ended phone calls saying "I love you," insisting that it wasn't some huge declaration of love. She denied the message meant that she was in a relationship with Daniel, but she did admit to the court that they were briefly involved. Jude reportedly learned of his wife's affair from a newspaper story and called Daniel to confront him because the two of them used to be close friends. It was only years later that the actress confessed that she sabotaged her relationship and burns a whole lot of bridges after the scandal became public. Although interestingly enough, Jude would go on to have his own highly publicized affair with the couple's nanny, Daisy Wright. So realistically, they were both in the wrong at some point. Number 3. Kate Hudson. The actress had a massive cheating scandal with Owen Wilson while they were filming the 2006 comedy movie You, Me and Dupree. Most likely because Kate was married to rock musician Chris Robinson for 6 years when she met Owen. The actors had a wild affair that lasted only 6 months, but it was definitely long enough to ruin Kate's relationship with her husband forever. Amid the rumors of infidelity, the Black Crowes singer ended up filing for divorce from her in November of 2006, citing irreconcilable differences and seeking joint custody of their then 2-year-old son Ryder. A month after the film opened in July, Kate and Owen were confirmed to be officially dating. But the affair didn't seem to stack up to anything, as the couple's relationship was short-lived and they broke up less than a year later. As the public started to turn against the actress, she countered the speculation by telling Harper's Bazaar that's not what happened. But looking back at the 2006 press tour, it was pretty obvious that something was happening between them because it got kind of inappropriate. Owen asked her about wearing a bikini in the film and whether or not she and her husband have ever had a third wheel experience. A lot of people felt that Owen crossed the line, and it really just seemed like they weren't doing much to hide their flirtation. Number 2. Ashton Kutcher. The actor was caught red-handed cheating on his ex-wife Demi Moore on their 6th wedding anniversary. Several years into their marriage, Ashton started having an affair with a woman called Sarah Lyle, and Demi caught them in the act in a $2,500 suite at the San Diego Hard Rock Hotel. In her memoir, she wrote, "I remember the night they met. We were at a bowling alley with Rumor, and when he went to switch out our shoes, she gave him her number on a napkin, or that's what he told me at the time. When we got home that night, he showed it to me and I said, that is just so gross. We were with our kid. I had a visceral response. It was revulsion. So the fact that he pursued her felt like a real FU. Then, instead of being remorseful for cheating on her, apparently Ashton then tried his best to justify his affairs, saying that he didn't know where their marriage stood. The couple decided to split up shortly after and filed for divorce in 2013. Since then, Ashton married his past castmate Mila Kunis, and Demi has been dating Daniel Hum since March of 2022. Ashton and Demi were only married for 6 years, but their relationship is still a very hot topic among fans. They quickly became known for their 15-year age gap, even though many people can agree that they looked great together. And coming in at number 1, David Boreanaz. In 2010, the actor admitted to being unfaithful to his wife of 10 years, Jamie Bergman, while she was pregnant with their second child. David released a statement at the time saying, "I haven't been faithful to my wife. Our marriage has been tainted with my infidelity. I was irresponsible." But get this, he only chose to make his admission after he was involved in an alleged extortion attempt. And while he has never confirmed the identity of his mistress, Rachel Uchitel, who is the same Rachel from the Tiger Woods cheating scandal, released a statement where she confirmed that there was a romantic relationship between the two of them. Then it wasn't long before pictures surfaced of David and Rachel along with a series of their text messages. The actor has since called the cheating scandal a bonding experience in the long run with his wife, saying, "In a sacred ground like marriage, you find yourself out of it at certain times for reasons unknown that can be destructive. There could be a demon that kind of comes out and overtakes you. Do I believe in giving up? No, I don't. I'm a fighter, I'm a lover." But it's likely that he did make a very serious effort to repair their marriage after the scandal broke, considering that David and his wife Jamie are still together to this day and have been married now for more than 20 years.
Number 9. Sebastian Bear McLeod. Emily Ratajkowski and Sebastian were married in 2018 and divorced by 2022 after a few too many cheating allegations began to surface. A source claimed at the time Sebastian strayed on multiple occasions, alleging that most of this happened while Emily was pregnant. Reportedly, Sebastian had major regrets after this information came out, with a source revealing Seb is pleading with Emily to get back together. Though they weren't publicly speaking about the breakup, it was looking clear to fans that it was due to infidelity, and Emily liked a few tweets about Sebastian being unfaithful. Not only that, but Sebastian was also accused just recently of SA and abusing his power on set during a casting process and auditions for various films. Though it looked like a pretty messy breakup, all in all, looks like the couple were able to put their differences aside for their son. Number 3. Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. Sydney and Glenn are set to star in a new romantic comedy and are going to be playing the love interests. But as photos emerge of Sydney and Glenn online, many fans are wondering about Glenn's girlfriend and Sydney's fiance. A behind-the-scenes clip came out on Twitter showing Glenn dipping Sydney over the couch, and it looks pretty coupley. On Twitter, a user commented, "Does this dude just have good chemistry with everyone?" Another added, "Rom-com actors exhibiting cheating behavior, Hollywood is back." Fans are left confused whether they are just good friends or maybe something more. Photos of them visiting places in Australia during the downtimes of shooting are only adding fuel to the fire, as well as Glenn's family coming down to visit and Sydney going on all of their outings with them, made the two out to look like a couple. A couple fans have shared what their feelings are, and they're pretty happy and wouldn't mind if these rumors turned out to be true. But others are wondering if those rumors could just be a PR stunt for the movie. Though it is yet to be confirmed, it really does have fans speculating, especially after Glenn's girlfriend unfollowed Sydney just recently.
Number 10. Jay Brooks and Ariana Grande. When it comes to cheating, it's really all speculation unless you have very clear evidence. So I'd like to just remind everyone that much of what we know in this regard is also speculative. However, I'm sure when it comes to people who dated Ari who said they believed they were cheated on, it's because they have, some kind of proof or reasoning to believe that this happened to them. Otherwise, why would they say it at all? Unless they're of course just bitter, but even then, calling someone a cheater usually doesn't just happen, even when you are bitter, unless you honestly believe it to be true. In Jay Brooks' case, he seems to have believed this was the case. Jay, for those who don't know, was from the YouTube comedy group turned music group, the Janoskians. After he and Ari broke up in 2013, he took to Twit longer and wrote about his experiences. For the most part, he blamed Nathan Sykes for his and Ariana's breakup, implying that Nathan stole Ari from him. But even through his pain, he was able to wish them well and at least see the light at the end of his tunnel of heartbreak. Honestly, I think is more than most people can do, so good for him. And friends, before I move on to our next spot on this list, if you enjoy what we do here at InformOverload, be sure to let us know by giving this video a thumbs up. Number 9. Nomi Leisure and Mac Miller. I'm not sure if I really believe this one myself, and it definitely feels weird to talk about considering that Mac Miller is now of course gone, rest in peace, but some have been suggesting that Mac and Ariana may have even started seeing each other when he was still with Nomi. I'm gonna be honest here, I read a lot, honestly too much to prepare for this point. More than I needed to, definitely. While I can see some overlap in terms of the beginning of Ariana and Mac's relationship and Nomi and Mac sharing a place, I still fully believe that Mac and Nomi were either separated at that time romantically, or perhaps perhaps were seeing other people with each other's consent. If you go back and you read a lot of Nomi's public writings and musings and stuff on her blog, it seems more likely to me, considering her multiple writings on love with and without emotion and polyamory versus monogamy, that could be the case. So that's my 2 cents on the rumor mill that is this point. I can see where people are coming from, but also having read way too much into it, I'm not sure if that's exactly what was happening. Number 8. Ricky Alvarez and Ariana Grande. The really wild thing about Mac and Ari isn't even the whole Mac and Nomi relationship, which also seemed to be going on in some capacity, although definitely on a downward turn at that point, with them perhaps even being already broken up, really. Everyone seems to forget about Ricky Alvarez, who Ariana was dating before or perhaps during the beginning of her relationship with Mac, with her even posting on socials about how great Ricky was around the time that her and Mac started getting closer to each other. I gotta say, of all the things that I've seen, this is one of the most suspicious things. Also, what's that line that she says in Thank You Next about Ricky? I think she says that Ricky made her laugh. Now it's making me think now that she's laughing at Ricky, and I'm like, I hope not. I don't think she would do that. I don't know. I don't know Ariana personally. Ariana, if you ever want to hang out, I'm gonna apologize for writing this list. I would still hang out with Ariana Grande. Number 7. Mac Miller and Ariana Grande. There was definitely a lot of overlap with relationships when it came to Mac Miller and Ariana Grande's relationship together, and honestly, based on all the reading I did into the relationship, it seems, like many of Ariana's romances honestly, that this was a bit of a whirlwind one. It started with them making out in a music video. They were friends for a few years, but then in almost what it seems like one night, they went from friends to something more, with Ariana and Mac becoming inseparable after that night together. They made a lot of posts together, they did a lot of things together, they started showing up everywhere together, and then it was revealed, boom, they were dating. However, some also believe that even during this time that Ariana was seeing other people. She met Pete Davidson while her and Mac were still together, and hit it off so well with him when she was on SNL that apparently after their first meeting, she swore she would marry him. And then, I mean, that's just what almost happened, so I understand why people are suspicious of that. Number 6. Cassie David and Pete Davidson. The song Break Up With Your Girlfriend really feels like it may ring true for Ariana. Honestly, I love that song, but I do not love the dating history here that feels like it could be repeating itself in some ways. I just want to give everyone involved in this list a hug, honestly, and maybe like help them all find therapists. Cassie was Pete's girlfriend before he and Ariana Grande got together. The two of them were reported to have been dating on and off since 2016. However, when he met Ariana, that changed. It should be noted here that both Cassie and Pete may have been thinking of calling it quits on their relationship before Ariana even showed up. Ariana's presence may have helped them along, going from on and off to just simply off permanently. Cassie supposedly broke up with Pete, but a few days later changed her mind and called him back with the hope of making up again. However, by that time he'd moved on with Ariana and decided to turn Cassie down, apparently responding by saying that he was the happiest he had ever been. Ouch. That's a harsh thing to say to your ex when they're calling you to get back together, maybe. They're like, I regret breaking up. It's like, well, I'm the happiest I've ever been, so bye. Ouch. Number 5. Naya Rivera and Big Sean. The late Naya claimed in her book Sorry Not Sorry that Ariana Grande was basically the reason for her breakup with Big Sean. Naya basically said that she and Big Sean had been fighting as a result of his traveling, and the one day he was in town, he didn't want to see her. Not accepting this, she used the key he had given her and she decided to invite herself over. Arriving at his house, she noticed he had company. A girl whose name apparently rhymes with Shmariana Shmande was sitting cross-legged on the couch listening to music. Apparently, that was the beginning of the end. She also said that she learned at the same time as everyone else on the internet that she and Big Sean were no longer engaged or even together. That's right, apparently this wasn't a private conversation between them. She was notified through the public forum of the internet, finding out the same way as everyone else from hearing about it online. Ouch, that would honestly really suck. Like, I really feel bad for Naya. Also, Naya, makes me sad when I talk about Naya, gosh. Number 4. Jen Aiko and Big Sean. I didn't even really know how to order these I didn't really know how to order a few things on this list because it feels like there's a lot of overlap here. However, publicly at least, Sean has only been dating Jen Aiko since 2016. He and Ariana broke up in 2015 and he and Naya broke up in 2014. However, that being said, he and Jen have known each other through collabs and as friends since 2013 and in 2014 when Jen Aiko was asked in 2013 in an interview with Power 106 who she would marry, sleep with, or kill, with her options being Sean, Drake, and J. Cole. people. She chose in that interview Sean to sleep with. It could just be an answer that, you know, she had to pick because she had to pick someone and she may have been closest to Sean, so that felt like the best choice for where she had to put him without being too familiar, a la something like marriage. But it's an interesting answer nonetheless, considering what we know about Sean and the end of his relationship with Nia. Honestly, I feel like we should do a list on Big Sean. Let's be real. What's happening with Big Sean's dating history? That's what I want to know. I want to know more about that. Number 3. Dalton Gomez and Ricky Barton. The plot continues to thicken as we go along and without an end in sight, honestly, as this is the beginning of the unraveling of the most recent thread. It's time to talk about Dalton Gomez and his now ex, Ricky Barton. With the current drama involving Ariana Grande and her relationship history currently ongoing, one Twitter user noticed that Ricky had also perhaps attempted to warn us about Ariana a while ago. While Ricky never outright said anything about her and Dalton's breakup, apparently very shortly after he and Ariana started dating, she posted an Instagram story that was a meme she created, which read, "When you see your ex with the person they told you not to worry about." Man, there are some real internet sleuths out there that really can find almost anything based on people's socials. However, I'm also like, imagine if we put all of that mind power to, like, I don't know, solving world hunger or something. That'd be crazy. Probably would have fixed that. Number 2. Dalton Gomez and Ariana Grande. Continuing along with that, Ariana Grande is also believed to have possibly cheated on her husband, Dalton Gomez, with her current and very new partner, Ethan Slater, who is also her co-star in the film Wicked. I didn't even know they were making a Wicked movie, guys. I've been waiting for this news for years, ever since the musical became a massive success and people started talking about a film version based on the musical, the books. I personally am a big Wicked fan, and this is how I find out. Oh boy. People magazine has said that both Ethan and Ariana have claimed that they were single when they started dating, and the tabloids have the dates wrong in regards to when their prior relationships ended. Interesting. Number 1. Ethan Slater and Lily J. Who was Ethan with before Ariana? This would be his 10-year partner who he'd been married to for 4 years and who just recently he had a baby with, Lily J. Lily J was apparently his high school sweetheart and they'd been together for forever. However, if people's statement is true, shortly after his son was born in August of 2022 and after celebrating his wedding anniversary in November of 2022, he ended up separating from his wife and began dating Ariana in January of 2023. This has left a lot of people shocked and as such struggling to believe that this timeline is quite as clear and innocent as is being presented to us. After all, in November of 2022, he posted about his anniversary online, celebrating his relationship and gushing about how much his wife Jay meant to him, calling her his best friend. That being said, it has been observed from a psychological standpoint, if you look into this you'll find it, that people who are having trouble in their relationships may actually be more inclined to post about how in love they are in an attempt to basically compensate for their true unhappiness and repress somewhat the struggles they are facing in said relationship. So keep that in mind as well.
Number 10. Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott. Recently, Travis has been battling allegations that he cheated on Kylie with his alleged ex, Instagram model Regine Carr. The rumors started circulating when Regine shared proof of herself on the same set as Travis on her Instagram stories last week. The accusations would have probably flown under the radar if Travis had not spoken up and made the whole situation so much worse. He said, "An uninvited person was sneaking photos on what was supposed to be a closed set while I was directing a video. I don't know this person, I've never been with this person." In response, Regine fired back saying, "What we're not gonna do is we're not gonna lie on me. I pretended I didn't know you, went along with whatever effing narrative no matter how much BS I got from it. But to say that you don't know me and you've never been with me when you've definitely been with me and everyone has seen you with me when I have pictures and videos of you with me." She went on to say that he cheats on Kylie every single night and that the whole city sees it happening. Number 9. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. The rapper reportedly went into explicit detail about cheating on Kim while he was on tour. Kanye allegedly confessed to having with groupies during his St. Pablo tour. An insider source told The Sun that it was an open secret within his inner circle that he had strayed following the birth of his son Saint. Quote, "On his St. Pablo tour, he was flipping out in front of his team, confessing to sleeping with girls behind Kim's back. He even said that he's been effing groupies and went into insane detail about his sessions. It was very graphic, his language was unreal." They went on to claim that he told his longtime staff members and they just laughed nervously because they didn't know how to react. Quote, "Nobody could believe what he was saying in front of everybody. It seemed like he was having an episode and was very manic." So this might have been a contributing factor in the Kim and Kanye divorce. Loving this video so far, please hit that like button, it would really help us out. Number 8. Khloe Kardashian and James Harden. Unfortunately for Khloe, her bad luck with basketball players goes beyond Tristan. In 2016, she revealed that her ex-boyfriend James Harden cheated on her too. On Cocktails with Khloe, she explained how, despite the fact that she didn't need a monogamous relationship, James insisted, only to eventually end up cheating on her. She said he wanted to be committed, then he wasn't committed, so Coco had to let him go. For his part, Harden had been very vocal about the breakup and stated why it was the worst year of his life. In his defense, he blamed all of the media attention on their split. He told Sports Illustrated, "I don't need pictures of myself when I'm driving my car. Who cares? What shoes am I wearing? Who cares? Where am I eating? Who cares? It was unnecessary stuff that I think trickled down to my teammates. I had to eliminate that. I didn't like all of the attention. I wasn't getting anything out of it except my name out there and my face out there, and I don't need that. It wasn't uncomfortable, but it wasn't me." Number 7. Tyga and Kylie Jenner. In 2016, a massive scandal erupted when 14-year-old aspiring singer Molly O'Malia accused Tyga of sending her uncomfortable messages online while he was dating a then 18-year-old Kylie Jenner, which was already a controversial relationship to begin with. Molly went public with her accusations and even held a press conference to speak about the incident. Tyga, of course, denied the claims and insisted that he was only reaching out to her because of her voice and to talk to her about music opportunities. Then in 2020, Nick Hogan exposed the rapper for messaging his girlfriend Hannah Lee and showed screenshots of the DMs that he had sent her. Tyga then tried to defend himself and posted all the messages, which showed her clearly flirting back. In response, Hannah took to her own socials with a message for Tyga. She said, "Next time you want to try and pull an Uno reverse card, also make sure I don't have a draw 4. You forget I saw you cheating on Kylie when she was filming in Australia. Plot twist." Number 5. Khloe Kardashian and Lamar Odom. It was pretty much love at first sight when Khloe met NBA player Lamar Odom. The pair tied the knot in September of 2009 after just 1 month of dating, but Khloe's only marriage unfortunately ended in disaster. Relatively soon into the marriage, it was revealed that not only did Lamar have a serious substance misuse problem, but he also admitted to being with countless other women during their relationship. The couple divorced shortly after he was found unconscious in a According to Lamar, dating a Kardashian is hard. So hard that it made him cheat on his ex-wife multiple times during their marriage. He said, "When I became Khloe Kardashian's man on TV, it made me look more enticing. As a result," he said, "thoughts came out of the woodwork. If there is one thing I regret when I was married, it was having multiple affairs with different women. That wasn't the stand-up thing to do. I wish I could have kept my D in my pants." Number 3. Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna. Kris Jenner's only son found himself in hot water after he posted several photos of his ex-fiancée on Instagram and Twitter in July of 2017, in addition to accusing her of substance misuse and being unfaithful during their relationship. Along with photos, he also went on a rant where he body-shamed her and accused her of cheating. He tweeted, "She cheated on me with nearly 20 dudes while we were together. I wonder how many she will sleep with now that we are apart." He went on to say that everyone wonders how Chyna lost all that weight after the baby, and she lies to everyone. "But no, I'm such a great husband that on our anniversary, I paid $100,000 to do this surgery to get everything fixed as much as they could." He was essentially bitter that Chyna had left him after getting the surgery. As a result, she was granted a temporary restraining order against him, and they eventually reached a custody agreement over their daughter Dream in that same year. Number 2. Kendall Jenner and Blake Griffin. These two appeared to be a match made in heaven when they began spending time together in 2017. She even told Vogue, "I'm happy. He's really nice. I have someone being very nice to me." At one point, things became so serious that Blake decided to call off his wedding with his former girlfriend of 8 years in order to be with her. But unfortunately, the supermodel didn't know that she was in the middle of a love triangle until Blake's estranged wife named her in their palimony lawsuit. According to legal documents, the NBA star abandoned his family for Kendall Jenner. Griffin knows very well what breaching promises is all about. After all, he had no problem trading Brian Cameron, his former fiancé, and the mother of his 2 children for reality television star Kendall Jenner. Soon after the rumors surfaced all over social media, Kendall was seen sitting on the sidelines still supporting Blake, but it's likely that all the negative press attention surrounding his cheating is what caused them to break up after only a few months of dating.